Today on the Dirt Bike Track, we learned that dogs aren't man's best friend, but rather woman's most perfect executioner. My name's James.
I'm Nicole.
And this is Mostly Speaking Spider-Man. Yes, guys, like I said, my name is James, and if you are using public transit, if you are walking up the stairs or just on the escalator and you hear a train come by, assume it's your train. And especially if there's people behind you, don't just lackadaisically go up as it says doors closing. And if you do that, I'm going to give you a death stare. You won't know I'm giving you a death stare because I'll make sure you're not looking in my general direction when I am because I'm afraid of conflict. But boy, oh boy, will I be seething because you made me 7 minutes later than what I would have been early to work. All right?
Yeah.
7 minutes late to being 30 minutes early to work. Learn some manners, people.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Oh, hey, remember that time I got hit by a car? That person wasn't aware of their surroundings.
Yeah.
I was. It was just too late for me to proceed with actions.
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned that on this show. I mentioned it on Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. So if you want to hear the full story of that, go listen to that on the Marshland Media podcast feed. Wherever this is found, you can find that. Listen to Death to Squids. But what I want to listen to is the fucker next to me. Her voice ring loud, for she is the woman. The woman moved by a love for dogs and all other animals. It's the Bricks, the Jakis, Nicole. Just
Hello.
had to force that one out. Because of how your week had been going, I was hoping you try and force it out and you just like strain your throat. You're like, oh no, it hurts real
I thought you were gonna
bad.
say I throw up.
You prolapse your throat.
Wow, thank you for that. I love that you're finding joy out of my misery.
You want to know what? That's time plus tragedy equals comedy. And I think, a couple days is time enough. You ate a bug smoothie.
Yeah, that was like yesterday.
That was like 2 days ago in my head.
No, it wasn't. It was yesterday.
Beep, 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 beep. Guess what, guys? I'm from the future. Okay? Deal with me, Nicole.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your week at all?
I'll just really quick go through the thing. So don't fucking interrupt
I
with
won't.
shit.
Zero. Mum's my lip.
Okay, real quick, had a real terrible fucking week. Just a couple things. I got scammed. I gave away my debit card number and I immediately was like, fuck. And so I had to cancel my card. That's annoying. Almost got fired because apparently when I locked the door to one of the stores, it didn't actually lock.
Everyone I've told this story to is like, that is on the place you work for. That is not on you.
They just a literal pallet. They bought a literal pallet of products that I am allergic to.
Oh, yeah.
So that's been fun. Or not even allergic, but I don't know. I am having a reaction and it's not fun.
Yeah, as the allergist recently told me, you're not allergic to shit. I guess you're just irritated by them. Bug smoothie.
God fucking damn it. You interrupted me and I lost my train of
You
thought.
were
And that's why I didn't want you to interrupt me.
Oh, you hit me.
No, I didn't.
You hit me with harsh tones of words.
So then I was having a really shit week and I was like, I'm going to have a low stakes day. I'm going to have 3 things on my to-do list. One of the things is take a bubble bath. How can you fuck that up? I got out, my eye was burning. Turns out a chunk of the face mask I had on got in my eye. Out of panic, I found some eye drops and put those in my eye. Later found out they're 2 years expired. My eyes were on fire.
I'll put some of that blame on me.
It was awful. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to the store now. It starts raining. I check out and forget that I had to cancel my card.
It's like rain on your grocery day.
Then the next morning, because I couldn't buy protein powder because of said card fiasco, I was like, okay, I'll just use this hot chocolate mix in my smoothie, because otherwise the smoothie it tastes real bad. And that sounds fun. And I poured it in there, and there's shells of a bug in there. And I look at the bottom of the package, and there's a tiny hole, and I was like, awesome.
But what turned it around?
But then I rubbed James's butt for good luck, and my life has turned around.
It really did. I made the joke of saying, "Oh, this is good luck," and then you said, "Yeah, if it works." I'm going to have to rub it all the time. And then Nicole said, something amazing happened at work today. I'm going to tell you about it later. And I said, my butt's getting rubbed tonight. And she had forgotten that interaction, and it made her laugh real hard. But speaking of people who make me laugh real hard, let's introduce our guest. Our guest should have been the one interrupting. That would have been good.
No one should be interrupting. Zero.
It's not interrupting when you're adding to the conversation. You're like, this is a monologue, not a dialogue.
Yeah.
You know him from the Speed Radio podcast, a podcast all things Sonic the Hedgehog. It's Tay, a.k.a. Zinny D.
Wow, I feel like a spell has been lifted and I can suddenly talk again. Sorry for being too polite, I guess.
Uh-huh. Most of our guests just run in there and say, hey, this is our time to shine, right, babe?
Well, it's that weird brain thing I have where it's like when you're on somebody else's stuff, I don't feel like I'm on it. It's just like, oh, I'm just enjoying a nice cast still. And then it's like, oh, wait, that's my name. Oh, no, I'm here. Oh, God, and my pants are down and I'm in front of the whole school. No.
Whoa, you're recording this in school?
Yes, I went back to my old high school in Guam, of all places. It took forever.
Hell yeah.
I'm there now. It's 2 a.m.
You got to do that. Is that because, as you said on the Citizens of Townsville Z, your father was in the military?
Oh, yeah. That was the last place he was stationed before we moved back into the U.S., and he effectively retired a couple of years after that.
Okay.
We were out on that island. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island to visit. Do not live there. It is awful.
It's like Muskegon, Michigan.
Well, I'm going to assume that's right.
How you described visiting opposed to living there, that is Muskegon, Michigan.
Oh, yeah, man. You can... Cool stuff to do there. It's the unfortunate result of when an island is colonialized by Americans and it's we made all the fun tourism stuff. And it's yeah, the tourism stuff's fun, but then you live there for a few days and it's all the locals are looking at me weird. And it's oh, well, that's because Americans didn't treat these people very nicely back in World War II. And it's well, you're not going to exactly like the people that put bombs on your island.
Oh, yeah.
To then bomb another island a few hours away.
Why? We have a bunch of islands. Mackinac Island. That's where people should be training military.
It's too cold.
Yeah, or
wipe out all those fudge places with some bombs and then you're good.
Oh, yeah, man. Or just build new islands. Let's just make new infrastructure.
Yeah, get some glass blowers to just start heaving a bunch of glass in the ocean and eventually that'll turn into rock.
Yeah, if we shove enough trash into the ocean, it will eventually amass into its own landmass.
Yeah, then we got
that's how you get Isle of Dogs, right?
Yeah.
Or just collect all the trash that's already in the ocean, but then bind it together.
With melted glass.
With melted trash.
Okay, that too. Gum.
Well, I mean, it does get a little jelly when water gets on it, so perhaps we're onto something.
Not if you are really chewing that gum it's fully zapped of all flavor and sugar.
And then it kind of just turns into wet cardboard.
Yeah.
It's very true. You ever think about when you're in the ocean how much fish cum you're swimming through?
Oh, constantly.
No.
And that's why I
don't swim in the ocean, so
I'm just constantly jazzed off,
Oh, okay.
Because what if one of them's
Fully
mermaid cum,
Yeah.
The world may never know. It's the 7th wonder of the world, but we don't actually know what it is. So we're just going to put a number out there. Hopefully people figure it out.
Yeah, mermaids definitely weren't actually just men fucking manatees.
It wasn't. It was real.
Definitely wasn't.
Mystical beasts loving each other.
Men would not do that ever.
Yeah,
No.
Manatees do not have needs, unlike dogs. That's referencing a thing
you?
Hugh Hefner said. Look it up. You'll be disgusted.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
And speaking of dogs who have needs, this episode's
Who
all
have
about them.
Knees.
Dogs famously don't have knees.
Yeah, they do.
They don't have knees. They might have like two
They don't
joints.
have kneecaps.
Oh wait,
But they have knees.
could you live without a kneecap?
I mean, maybe it's possible.
Let's find out.
Hey, you might be able to live without a kneecap,
here.
but it's not a life worth living. Because then you can't like kneecap someone in the chin and knock them out.
Oh yeah, I definitely need
No,
it for
but
that.
like, how hard would it be to just put something else as your kneecap? Like, you could do a glass bowl. You could put whatever you want.
I don't want to do a glass bowl, then it's breakable.
Well, then it sucks for the person that gets in front of it.
Okay.
Can I put a live cat?
Yeah, do a live cat in there. It's just wiggling around.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. You could like halfway turn yourself into your own Sentai robot. You could put whatever you want on there.
Uh-huh. Put 2 live cats in, and then all you have to do is kneel down, and then they just scurry you around everywhere.
On
Hanna
one knee.
Barbera, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear a muffled because it's Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
What I said was it's a living, like the Flintstones say. Yabba dabba doo me, girl.
So dogs.
Yeah, guys. But first, before we get into the
But not
old
dogs.
dog of things, Zinny D, what's your experience? Actually, first, you do a Sonic podcast, and I would like to ask you, so far, what is the best Sonic game you've played and the worst Sonic game you've
Okay,
played?
but first, you
What's
have
that?
to plug what the podcast name is.
Speed Radio, I said earlier.
We'll do it again.
It's Speed Radio.
Thank you.
We are speeding that. Okay, I need context. Is it in context of just what we played on the podcast or in terms of my life?
Let's say in
Those
your
are two
life.
different things. Okay, in my life, absolute favorite Sonic game. That's really hard, but it might be either Sonic Adventure, because for whatever reason, every time I think of a Sonic game, I remember more of that game than I do anything else like ever. And it felt like an event to get that game in my life because of all the things that led up to it. Because, GameCube was a huge part of growing up. I would always go over to friends' houses because we didn't have a lot of game consoles, and I would play stuff over there. They had Sonic Adventure 2, funny enough. And we just fucked around in the Chow Garden for 2 hours. It was honestly amazing because that's one of the best parts of the Sonic Adventure games. I won't hear different.
I think it's actually Rouge's bosoms.
Dude, I was 8 years old. Who gives a shit about tits? I'm picking up a weird critter that I've mashed like radioactive materials and other animals into to create an abomination on my own.
That's exactly how I describe boobies. Weird little critters that you mash around.
Wow.
Yeah. Radioactive as well, turns out.
Uh-huh.
Is it the best though? No, it's the best. Let's be real. That's one of the better ones. Sonic's 3D. It's got the best lines there ever was. The voice actors from that are still like legendary in my eyes. Worst Sonic game is one of the most hilarious questions ever because I could literally say anything I want and it wouldn't matter. Worst Sonic game, man. I don't know. Probably Shadow the Hedgehog. The game kind of sucks.
Dang.
But the funny thing is, that's the one I've played the most as a kid. I 100%ed that game because I had no friends.
Also, you might not have had a lot of games.
Yeah, that was more it. Like our library, or at least my GameCube library, was not very big. When you only have like 6 games, and I've played as much of Billy Hatcher as I could stomach, I'm like, I need something else. Let's play the cool game where a funny cartoon critter holds realistic firearms and tries to save his dying niece or whatever the fuck.
I gotta play this game.
It's ridiculous. And there's aliens. And like, I talk about Knuckles having 6 dads. Shadow has like 4 dads too. It's like, what is going on here? Why do we do this?
Never enough dads.
Never enough dads.
Oh, dude.
4 dads? Give me more dads.
4 dads. It's like 4chan, but only dads.
Oh, that would actually be sometimes a better place,
4
depending on the
dads.
dads.
I'm a whore for dads.
You could just say a whore dads.
Yeah,
Whore dads is
I quit.
Whore dads sounds like, hey, we're going down to the bayou to pick up some whore dads.
Yo, come on down. Come get your whore dads out the mud, yo.
Hey, don't you be coming around here with a net. The only net you need is your little mitts. Go get you some Hordads.
Hordads is also very scarily close to Hordak, who I believe is a villain in like Masters of the Universe or something.
Okay.
Big scary orc face guy with a bone collar. He looks cool.
Dang, Bone Collar. That's a choice.
That's my new death metal band.
Bone Collar. Because that's also just switching out collarbone and reworking the words.
Yeah. What if your collarbone was on the outside?
Ew. You wanna know what? I might be into it. Could I feel it? Or is it just like armor for me?
No, it's got has all the nerve endings on it, so you absolutely feel everything. Gentle breeze comes through, you're getting shocked, man.
It'd be so easy to donate marrow, though.
Yeah, just crack it open.
Yeah.
Ew.
Crack it and suck.
It's like the whole thing opens up like a Gundam robot pilot seat. Just folds all the way out.
That's what I do when I get some Hordads. Crack it open and slurp.
Better go have a Hordad boil.
Hell yeah. A Hordad bake. Okay, let's get into Spider-Man. Zinny D, you love Sonic the Hedgehog, I hear, but do you love this Spider-Man?
A little bit. Just a little less than probably most people, actually, because I've mentioned it before. Spider-Man really wasn't around when I was growing up. Like, the only exposure I had was through movies, because that was my dad's basically favorite hobby and all he really had time for when he wasn't working all the time. Mm-hmm. So he would watch a lot of movies. We, of course, all went and saw Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, which is a great movie. I love those movies still. Even if you take the Spider-Man stuff out of it, I still like them just as weird films that are so weirdly gross in a way that only that director could do.
I gotta rewatch these.
One of the things I love about that movie is the way they explain why he can climb on walls is because they actually show all the tiny cilia that grow out of his fingers that allow him to actually grip. It's great. It's gross in the best way. I love that director. I can't remember his name. He did Drag Me to Hell and all that.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah, the Raimi bro. But that was all I really had. I would catch a couple of the cartoons. Like, I definitely saw some of Ultimate Spider-Man and what was the recent, like, 2015, 2016 one where they're doing the Young Avengers thing with Nova and all of them?
I couldn't tell you. If you want to know about that, guys, head over to Walloping Web Snappers. Doug and Derek will tell you.
Oh, man, it's a 2-for-1 plug. That was all I really had. And we had a Spider-Man computer game, one of the very early ones that actually featured Venom way before he popped up in the movies. So it was kind of a trip to see him in that. Also weirdly violent because in the first stage of that game, you're disarming bombs in that. And if you lose, the building blows up. And it's pretty like, it's not graphic. But when you're 4 years old and a building blows up and there's people screaming, you're kind of like, oh, I did a bad thing.
Yeah, and it's your fault.
I'm not a good guy anymore. Yeah, like I caused the horror to little digital people.
Technically, it's the villain's fault, not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but tell that to a 4-year-old that doesn't understand reality.
I would say, hey, kid, better wise up quick, or the world's gonna eat you out, or eat you and spit you out. You guys know what I was meaning to say.
Yeah.
That's what a said to me.
No.
Yes. Zinny D, if you heard that, you understand the thing that always gets bleeped out now.
That's incredible.
Are you gonna bleep that out?
Oh, that's getting bleeped, yeah.
Beautiful. But other than that, Spider-Man was just around. It's like, it was just a thing that was there, It's the hero you know of, you can think of, but I didn't really engage in that. I was too busy with, DC actually had a bigger grip on me as a kid. Like, I was too busy watching, all those great animated movies that were coming out in like the 2010s to 2016. Static Shock was one of my favorite shows ever. I still love that show. And honestly, DC TV in general, like before we realized Ezra Miller was a piece of shit, the Flash show was actually pretty fun for the most part, at least early seasons.
Was he also in the Flash show?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just in the movies.
No, he was around in the show too.
Oh, okay. That's wild.
At least I hope so. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. One thing I've learned doing podcasts about fun video games is if I'm wrong, I don't give a shit. Someone will tell me.
Yeah. Or your mom will tell you and you're like, okay, Mom, you don't need to tell me these things.
Yeah, world's already eaten me out enough as is, man. Leave me alone.
The world keeps eating me out. Name of the episode?
Incredible. Other than that, though, not a whole lot of Spider-Man experience. Like, I definitely picked up a lot more when the Insomniac game got announced. I started paying a little more attention, just because I am a little more of a gamer, especially these days. And all of those are phenomenal games. Like, they've done a stellar job. Excited for what they do with Wolverine. That's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
They just, I don't know. They got the sauce.
But speaking of Spider-Man, today we're discussing Toei's Spider-Man initial thoughts.
What a fucking weird episode.
Oh, yeah. That you want to know what? Leave it at that. We'll get into it. Today we're discussing episode 27 of Toei's Spider-Man entitled Farewell, My Comrade, My German Shepherd. And quick rundown, Amazonas trains a bunch of dogs to like be killing machines by kidnapping like just find stray dogs. It's weird, but I guess like when a dog's already broken, it's easier to break them some more. Or I guess like reshape the pieces into a area that you want. She's like, hey, I'm going to use this. We got the scent of Spider-Man. Hey, yay. But a kid's dog gets trapped and kidnapped. So Spider-Man's like, I'll help you out, of course. Why wouldn't I? And then the dog becomes their friend. It's a true enemies to friends. Sam from the Rom Complex would love this, Nicole. And then
No, Sam loves enemies to lovers.
Oh, enemies to lovers. I don't know, man. They seem to have love.
I guarantee there's some shipping art out there of Toei Spider-Man X this dog. All right.
Yeah.
The internet is the internet.
The dog becomes a BEM machine,
by
Nicole.
Hugh Hefner.
Nicole. Yeah, he's just doing doodles and saying, yeah, put this in the 1979 Playboy of the Year edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there he goes. Why did you say, oh, okay?
Because you're like, Nicole. And then you're like, wait, this is good.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you.
I'm just saying in a world.
For shaming me and then piling on, you fuck.
In a world where Hugh Hefner drew fanfic. Whew, okay. Calm, James. Stay focused. Stay alive. Stay breathing. That's the episode, Spider-Man. So let's get into it. We start out with a dog bark. And this dog bark sounds like the one sampled in the Beastie Boys Sure Shot, like right in the beginning where it's like,
I thought the same thing.
Yes, dude.
It's such a common like sound that I swear was all over in like 90s rap and that.
Uh-huh.
It's so funny how it's canned and they use it, I counted at least like 44 times in the whole episode. It's so good.
Why pay for more dog barks when hey, we got it. That's all we need.
Yeah, you just one take. It's the only one you need.
It's like in some Three Ninjas movies, the kids saying, yeah, they recorded like them doing that 9 different ways and they just sprinkle those 9 in throughout.
Dude, what I would pay to just have a switchboard of that at all times in my life.
How much would you pay?
Yeah, how much?
Yeah, I can make that happen.
$1.50.
Okay. I'll collect them as MP3s and send them to you. But I can't create. I guess I could create a soundboard on the internet.
Yeah, just make a website.
And what I could do is make sure they're different and see. You could actually see if they're the same because you would just line them up, and if they phase perfectly, they're the same. Yeah. Are you? What?
Don't.
Yeah, it'd take a long time. Zinny D, are you a fan of Three Ninjas?
I'm aware of them, and I've seen at least a bit of one of them. Okay. That is about where it stops.
You're on the Patreon now, so when you get to This Existed, there's an entire month that's all Corey and I discussed were the 4 Three Ninja movies, and it was beautiful.
That sounds like an experience I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Oh no, the movies are great. Like we're not lying.
I don't remember good things.
Then I did a watch along of each one as well, and Nicole was on the final watch along, and Nicole says the funniest thing she has ever said at the end of that watch along. It's so good, Nicole. The timing perfect.
Yeah, I only agreed to do it if I could be stoned.
And you were.
Yeah.
That feels like the appropriate mindset.
Yeah.
But then you watched, like I was falling asleep to one, and you did not change it, and you gave it its credit. You're like, these kids are doing some really good stunt works.
Yeah.
Okay, don't act like you weren't
Sounds accurate.
Excelsiored about it.
But then there was that they were like playing baseball or something, and it was insane.
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
Yeah.
But we can't
Like
keep talking.
insanely stupid.
We can't keep. Yeah, the kid like throws a hot dog or something at someone. It's
and they
fine.
fart.
Do they? Yeah, I don't put it past them. But let's get back
This
to
man
Spider-Man.
out here just lobbing schlongs. My God.
Yeah.
Glizzies everywhere.
Oh, 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out in the old Gliz game.
I thought we were moving on.
I'm trying.
bitch.
That's called like.
I thought we
hold
were
on,
moving
hold on.
on,
When
bitch.
on Spider-Man, you know how it says Spider-Man, or in other like anime, it'll go like. Beep, 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 boom,
Yeah.
to get back from commercial break.
Interstitials.
That was the interstitial. And it's 1, 2,
Yeah.
3 strikes.
For
You're
sure.
out in the old Gliz game, and then we come back saying like a glizzy, glizzy, glizzy. Don't you glizz? And that's us coming back from break.
Uh-huh.
We need a commercial, okay?
For glizzies.
That's what I was gonna propose too.
Or Three Ninjas.
But just watch Three Ninjas 3, which is I think technically no, that's Three Ninjas 3 kicks back.
Oh my god.
Glizzies! So we see Professor Monster and Amazon is talking. She's like, yeah, I'm training these dogs are gonna be real good. And you see from the wrong angles Professor Monster's face in this episode. And
The wrong
yes,
angle.
because his makeup is extreme. Even a high school production of The Golden Girls would be like, yeah, man, you're making him look too old.
I mean, I don't know. That didn't bother me so much as the fact that they made the mask like 3 inches away from his face.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not even a part of his face. It's just so obviously a covering as part of the hood.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful. Love it.
I think that's like best case scenario because then it might be too tight and then you're trying to get dimensions. Or what if it was sized? There was another actor who was supposed to be playing this and then he dropped out and then this guy came in and they're like, we don't have time to make a new mask.
You know, considering this is like Toei 70s live action stuff, that is absolutely in the ballpark of reality.
Uh-huh.
I also I want to bring up, right? So she very explicitly says, I'm putting these dogs through an intensive routine, and it hard cuts to them in a hallway with the dogs trapped in kennels on the right, and they're just fucking poking these dogs with sticks.
Yeah, they're just hitting
Like,
them. They said they're going through intensive training and they're just hitting cages with sticks.
They're just ramming these sticks at these dogs. They're just like, stop it. No.
That's kid logic, guys.
I mean, no. Like, even kids would write a better scene than that.
I think they would be like, hey, we're trying to like get stronger. And then like, I guess it would have to be the dogs hitting cages. And you're like, oh yeah, the dogs are getting stronger. But I think it works out. But also, guys, I'm not a monster like this. The Dominator would never do this. Mm-hmm. Which the Dominator, for anyone who doesn't know, created on Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. Hear the full origin there. It's a kennel that the walls slowly close in, but not enough to harm the dog, just to terrify the dog.
It's so fun. It reminds me of a great Facebook group I used to be a part of where it was, the full name is People Riding Dogs, but not actually, just for fun though. Don't actually sit on the dog. That's the full name of the fucking group. And it's all photos of people doing exactly that, just doing that fun little crouch sit that you do like on a German Shepherd to act like you're saddling up. It's a beautiful thing. Like, that was when Facebook was good.
I used to do that to Franklin, our cat, all the time. I'd like pick him up and put him between my knees and I'd go, "Nay, get along, little doggy." And then I'd like gallop around with him.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds dangerous.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It
Sounds
was all
like
safe.
more intensive training than what these dogs got.
Yeah, he did a lot of intensive training, that cat. I also liked how Professor Monster, after seeing this intensive training, he says, go grab some more intelligent dogs. Not more intelligent dogs, some more intelligent dogs, meaning these dogs that are just in cages are smarty pantses? No.
And they only use one dog.
I think that's the most, they figured out the most smart dog.
Oh, they picked the best one.
Yeah, this is a kill shelter.
This is the best dog that can take the best pokings with a stick. Send this one.
Or is this the dog who wasn't taking no pokes?
Maybe. Well, I mean, as we see later, that is likely the truth.
So then Amazonas is still on the train of thinking Takuya is Spider-Man, which he is.
I'm sorry, we didn't talk about how in the same training scene there are spiders that are tied to strings, just like hanging.
No, that's their web.
And they are milking the spiders because they said Spider-Man smells the same as these spiders.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man.
They're gonna train the dogs to recognize this scent and find Spider-Man.
That whole thing exposes why I love 70s media so much, because it is this adept level of absolute goofy bullshit that is so good. Because they're explaining they want these dogs to be intensively trained for this. Okay, they're poking them with the sticks for this. Why wouldn't they instead try to find the best dog that can recognize this smell the best first, when that's the end goal, is to find Spider-Man outside of his suit? I think is what the whole idea is. They want to find him through the scent, because I guess he still smells the same outside of the suit instead of in the suit.
Yeah, instead of finding random ass dogs, find like a police dog.
I mean, that must be what it is when they end up finding the dog that they find for it.
Yeah, it's a German Shepherd, aka the most doll's eyes of all dogs. Meaning they'll murder someone and they're Michael Myers in a dog suit.
They are just, I mean, no notes.
There we go.
It's the dog owner, not the dog breed.
No, German Shepherds are terrible, okay? They were bred by God to kill.
Okay.
So I guess, it's a dog owner. It's God.
Yeah.
God is dog backwards.
Or God is mother.
Okay, we talked about this on the Citizens of Townsville Z last week. Go listen to that. Patreon.com/MLM pod, $5 a month. We should say that they are like, these spiders smell like Spider-Man because they were in the same cave that Spider-Man's alien dad was in.
Okay, so that's like a first episode thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm assuming I was supposed to come to this episode having watched the 26 beforehand.
No.
And this just feels like an in-betweeny. Okay, I mean...
No, they showed you the little bits that you would have needed.
That is true, but at the same time, there's the whole plot of Amazonas knows Takuya's Spider-Man, or at least suspects it, and like that must have been established in something else. I'm not sure how much information I'm supposed to be missing coming into this mid-season.
You got it. Everything you need to know. And that only comes up in a select few episodes. So it's the first episode where she's like, yeah, I think it is. Then one where she's like, is he? Oh, no, he's not. And then this episode.
And it's like, we still don't know. We will never know.
I hope how it ends, which I've seen it before, but I don't think this is how it ends. How this should end is before he defeats Amazonas, he just like pulls back the mask and winks at her, and she goes, oh, but he's upside down and they kiss.
Yeah, it's just, she says, go get him, Tiger, and puts the mask back on.
Uh-huh.
And then they have hot, steamy spiderweb sex.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, now I'm in my original uniform that was clearly getting daddies too aroused. Before this current outfit, Zinny D, she was very scantily clad.
Oh, well, that was just the thing you did in media, man. Like, they still do that. It's just a part of the design. We have a woman. You have to make them look woman.
Uh-huh.
Can't just be a woman. You have to be a woman.
Be a whoa man.
Whoa man.
But don't be a woke man, am I right, guys? Everyone's high-fiving.
No.
Hell yeah, got a high
that
five.
Was so loud.
Oh, sorry. You have headphones in. So, Hitomi gets a call from Amazonas, and she's like, oh my God, it's my editor-in-chief, Yoshida. And she's like, no, actually, that was a ruse. I'm Amazonas. I'm like the second in command of the Iron Cross Army. And immediately Hitomi just starts saying, oh, please don't hurt me. I'll do whatever you say. They are on a phone call. She does not need to be acting like this. Hitomi in these last couple episodes has just been on another level comparatively to the rest of the cast. And I love it.
Sorry, I have to collect myself a second, because when this scene happened, right, when she's on this phone call and Amazonas reveals herself to be the big bad guy and not her boss, they do that amazing thing that this kind of show does in the 70s, where they do the dramatic, like, we do this thing 3 times with a zoom in every time, and they repeat it 3 times. They repeat her just standing up 3 times. And I don't know why, but that made me laugh so hard. I was rolling. I had to stop and get away from the computer because I just thought it's so funny that they're trying to intensify this moment of a lady just standing up.
There is a future scene that it's like only like a fifth of the scene. It's like that just repeated 5 times, and we'll get into it when we do, but hangs up the call, and then we see Hitomi talking to Takuya, and he's just standing on his head like a little goofball. And like he does such a great job at, like, I could never be Spider-Man. I'm such a dunce. But she's like, oh, yeah, I'm so scared. Like, what if she kills me? She wants me to tell Spider-Man stuff. And he's like, just forget about it. And she's like, okay. He leaves. And then all of a sudden, this dog walks up to her. And she immediately just says,
it's not a dog. It's a puppy.
Yes, it's
adorable.
It is. As someone who finds dogs overwhelming, it is an adorable dog. And she says, what a filthy mutt. And I go, she's so wise.
What?
What the hell, man?
And then we find out that this is the dog that they got from a shelter, Takuya's older sister and younger brother. And the little brother picks him up, kind of bats him on the head and says, bad Takuya. And then he leaves. And then Hitomi's like, huh? And then what is the sister's name?
We can never remember.
Yeah, we can never remember that. She's like, oh, so he was sick and tired of Takuya lording over, like, being an older brother to him. So to, like, bring him down a peg, as Nicole said, a power play to your older brother, named the dog Takuya.
That's a weird flex, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the kind of thing a kid would do when, like, I'm just a little kid. I want to have power over something. So he takes power over a 3-month-old dog, of all things.
Also, when you don't have a mother or a father, it's just your older brother and your older sister. You're like, no one's going to tell me I can't do this.
Yeah, I have no parental supervision. I'll just pick up anything off the street.
And I loved later on where Takuya sees the dog and gets scared and he goes, oh, it's just you, Takuya. And it, like, this is how you know Takuya is a good brother, because he's not upset with his brother. He's like, okay, this is just him working some stuff out. And I respect this dog being named after me, even if it is as a power play.
Yeah, he's very aloof about the whole thing, but in the right way.
But we then flash over to the Iron Cross Army. And they're like, Amazonas is like, oh, yeah, I know it's Takuya. Or she's like, oh, I think we know who Spider-Man is. And then Professor Monster says, oh, my God, it's not that freeloader Takuya. And I wish one of the little grunts just like kind of piped up, raised his hand and said, do you mean the human or the dog Takuya? And then they're like, there's 2 of them now? No.
Oh, man, I'm seeing double, 4 Takuyas.
I wouldn't mind 4 tacos. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like we're missing a scene here, because this, before they cut to him getting the puppy, isn't there a scene with the Black Cross, or the Iron Cross Army? Is it Iron Cross or Black Cross? I'm sorry.
Iron Cross.
So the Iron Cross Army is disguised as, like, veterinarians and doctors that approach this kid and his mom with their border collie right there. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, hey, we're having this weird increase in rabies lately in dogs. We need to take your dog to go get vaccinated or whatever and make sure it doesn't have rabies. And they just straight up steal this kid's dog. Mm-hmm. They're like, no, my dog just had his rabies shot last week. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy how the mom didn't know that.
Yeah. It's like, wouldn't she have had to bring the dog? Or that also plays into, we say Amazonas is just picking up these dogs out of random. No, she's stealing like people's dogs.
Yeah.
These are other people's
Pets.
animals.
Yeah.
Let's try
You
it.
didn't think it was fucked up enough already.
I wonder if like you
I've
could.
been there, done that.
Oh, yeah,
I give
you
that
have.
a 1 star.
You did do that. You explained it on the show. I'm just wondering how easy it would be to convince someone, a pet owner, to take their animal. It would be like on, a prank show. And if they do, we brandish them as a bad pet owner.
Yeah.
We call the Humane Society on them.
That feels like something the Impractical Jokers crowd would do, where like they're radioing to the one guy to be like, these are the lines you have to say. You have to try and take somebody's animal.
Uh-huh.
Feels like something with them. Can I tangent for a quick second?
Absolutely.
I have a great pet stealing story. So one of my coworkers, I used to work with his brother over there, and he's a like piece of garbage human. Like, I don't say that lightly about people, but absolutely garbage individual. Lost his job there. Ends up getting in this crazy beef with his brother and his family, to the point where he breaks into his mom's apartment, kicks his mom, and steals their 40 pound pit bull from them, and just holds this dog hostage, to the point where, if you didn't think this was evil enough, right, he registers this animal as an emotional support animal. So now if the mom tries to come get the dog back, he's now legally protected. It is insane.
Wowzer.
He has since been arrested for domestic abuse. So he's no longer there. The dog is in the right hands. Everything is beautiful again. But that's the kind of stories you get working the jobs you work,
It would have been better if he had kicked the dog and kidnapped the mom and registered her as an emotional support animal.
Oh, yeah. Like this nobody else does that?
Yeah. And then they try to get the mom back, and she's like, my hands are tied. He registered me.
Like, how do you even, like, I don't even know, like, how do you even know how to do that? Like, it's just, that's so, like, such a detailed plot. So it's intricate.
No, he's very not okay in the head.
Yeah.
He was actually psychotically insane and clinically proven to be so.
If someone stole one of our cats, they would be meeting a baseball bat.
Well, yeah, that's what we all threatened to do. I was going to get with, the nice brother and be like, let's just roll up on his place, shoot the door down, and like, let's go. Because he basically, his brother, who is neighbors with me at this apartment I live at, he owns one of the most insane looking weapons I've ever seen. If you can imagine a sword, right?
Yeah.
But the sword part looks like a combat knife. So it has little grooves on the top. There's a little like U-curve in it that splits part of it. There's a couple holes in it. It has a knuckle duster with spikes on the actual guard part of it. Has a giant spike on the bottom and extra spikes all around where the blade is. This shit looks like a Final Fantasy weapon.
What the fuck?
One of the most insane things I've ever seen.
That's some like Conan the Barbarian stuff.
It really is.
Nicole, should I get into Conan?
Get that dog back with that sword. What? No.
Okay.
I don't know. Do whatever you want.
So the next scene we get at is Spider-Man's like, oh, they're going to bomb Interpol, but this seems like a trap. I will let Interpol know, but he's still scoping it out a little bit. But there's a German Shepherd there, doll eyes, nothing behind him. He just like locks on to his scent and is like, arf, arf. And then there's a bunch of snipers with silencers on them around them on different building tops. They keep shooting at Spider-Man, and it is the same action scene, just spliced, mirrored for, I think, 4 minutes.
Yeah, I was laughing
for a
real
long
hard.
time. It's pretty. You see Spider-Man's ass jump off of that wall like 30 times.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing. But what did I had something very specifically written down when all this was happening. I wrote down, yes, Toei's great period in that good 70s action work that violates all safety protocols for the sake of looking kind of hokey but also cool.
Uh-huh.
Because he's running on rooftops in the middle of all this, and is making some pretty high unsafe jumps in the middle of all this.
I will say, unlike other times, there are points where we actually see the rope on it, of a harness. So I'm like, okay, at least we can see that this man is somewhat safe.
Yeah, I mean, barely, because I don't know how much of the original 1970s Kamen Rider y'all have watched, but very similar, incredibly like the Tokyo Tower. There's an episode of Kamen Rider where that dude straight up climbs the Tokyo Tower. There is no harness on this man.
There's parts of the intro where he climbs up the Tokyo Tower in Spider-Man as well. And the actor was like, yeah, I didn't have any harnesses on. They just like pointed at it and said, climb it. And then he's like, wait, what? Are we allowed
Yes,
to?
sir.
And they're like, we don't know. Just climb it.
The things they did for money for these shows is ridiculous. But I love it so very much because it gives it that particular charm that you just can't see these days. They should lift safety protocols for like one day.
Yeah.
Just so we could do this.
And also child labor laws, you know?
No.
Get a kid climbing.
know about
What's that one reality docu-series where kids have to like go to the grocery store in Japan?
I don't know.
Well, it's them, but it's like, hey, you have to be a stunt actor today when no regulations are there.
That sounds worse.
No.
Those kids aren't going to be able to reach in between those poles. Are you kidding me?
No, they got little hands. They can do whatever.
That's not how hands work.
It's upper body strength from doing monkey bars. They can climb up it real quick.
Who's climbed a monkey bar in 2024?
Yeah, I don't think I could. Also, my legs are too big now. Like, it weighs me down.
Yeah, that's my problem. Lower body strength, boys.
Uh-huh. My legs are now the same diameter as Nicole's head.
Oh, well, what a dream.
Uh-huh.
What a thrill.
Speaking of thrills, this dog's running after him, and in this situation, the dog runs him up a tree. He has an idea. Takuya's like, I know how to take out this dog. Most people would be like, hey, you're Spider-Man. You have a spider net. Just net the dog. No, he goes to the woods, gets a bear trap, lays leaves over it, and he's like, I'm going to just maim this mutt.
It's so unnecessarily violent to the point of comedy. It's so funny. Because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, he's gonna like make a spider web or like put up a tripwire with the rope because that's something they could have feasibly done and just trip the dog and be like, oh, it's fine now. No, it's a realistic bear trap.
Yeah.
It's just...
And he like tests it out. He like, you see him like undo it and then like hit it and it chomps. And he's like, all right, we're going to be good. But luckily that kid from earlier whose little collie got stolen, he's there, sees it. And he's like runs as soon as like the dog's about to hit it. And he takes a stick and slams on it. It chomps. And then the dog faints.
Yeah, for a quick second, the editing in this is not particularly great. I, honest to God, thought he hit the dog for a second. Or like hit the dog to get it out of the way of the trap and not actually hit the trap.
Nicole joked and said like, oh, what if he like trips and lands in it? And then I took it further.
Child.
And then I go just face first.
Oh.
I thought what was going to happen was that kid was going to like almost step on the trap, like
looks
on
like that.
accident.
Like, that's how it's framed. Like,
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. Like, I'm scared. Yeah, that's a great image of it eating him on the face, right? That's like an inverse Saw.
Oh, yeah. And you mean Saw the movie.
Yeah, instead of the inverse bear trap, it's a regular verse bear trap on your face.
That's what he should have done is, oh, it's a chair that is going up slowly, and there's a bear trap on the ceiling, and it'll just hit your head.
Yeah, just bunk.
Yeah,
I hate it.
The dude's like, oh, I need to be really intricate. No, that causes more terror.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the fun of it, you know? That's why I love the later Saw movies, because they get fucking absolutely silly with all of their traps.
I loved those as in my late teens, early 20s, but I could not even go back and watch those. They're too gruesome.
Well, they are really gross. Like, I don't know. Have you seen Saw 3D by chance?
I've seen all of them besides the last, like the newest two.
The one that always freaked me out the most was the car trap with like 6 people. And what was it? Is it the lead singer to Linkin Park is in that one for
Oh, I
whatever
don't know
reason?
that.
Oh, it's crazy. But they're all like connected to this car separately. One dude's is like skin grafted to the car seat, which is a genuine nightmare I've had.
Ah.
And it's like, it's pretty bad. I'm not going to get into detail because it's pretty gross, but like 6 people die in a horrible, horrible way for our entertainment, but not for real though.
But they deserved it.
Oh, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Saw gets a little goofy with its logic after like the
Yeah,
first movie.
it does. So all of a sudden, a bunch of people start shooting at them. The kid just is like, grenade over onto the dog, shields it. But then Takuya does get hit, but he has that healing factor. He'll be fine soon. They escape. They take out those dudes shooting at them. And then they meet up at this shack. And this dog's just like fainted, not doing well because, as the narrator tells us, goes, oh yeah, it hadn't been fed for weeks. That's why it fainted. Its last burst of energy was trying to grab Takuya. And this kid's like, oh, I hope you don't die. I just love dogs so much because they'll do whatever I tell them to do. Like, let me pet their open eyeball.
Yeah, he does get really scarily close to that dog's eye.
No, it's right over the eye. Like, you see the dog has to close its eye as it looks like the dog is dead. And you know how they do in movies? If someone dies with their eyes open, they just go like that and the eyes close. That's what it looks like he's trying to do. Is like, you're dead now. You're dead now. Come on, you're dead now. Quit opening that creepy eye.
Yeah. You gotta play dead. It's okay.
Those shark eyes you have.
But that kid is totally right, and that's why I wrote in my notes. Yeah, this kid's absolutely full of power because dogs should never be allowed to have a single job in their life.
Yeah, dogs don't have jobs, okay? Lassie, What were you doing?
I was just, Freemason over there.
Service animals, get out of here.
Yeah. Well, that's not a job. That's a service.
That's a job. If you're providing a service to someone, you are in the service industry.
I've been gotcha. No, because, the more I think about it, the more I'm always like, animals are not evil creatures. They never are, even if they do shitty things. Animals are not evil. But if you give, German Shepherds were bred for World War II, of course. If you give a dog a Nazi job, that dog's a Nazi now, and that's fucked up. That's not the dog's fault.
Yeah, and the only good Nazi's a dead one.
Yeah. Old Yeller, but it's World War II.
Yeah, and you don't have to take them out back. They're on the battlefield.
Yeah, we shot this dog with an anti-aircraft gun.
I'd come back from war, and they're like, yeah, he has 43 confirmed kills, and he's like, You killed a lot of men out there, didn't you? And I go, oh no, I just always aimed for the dogs.
Oh my God.
I love that the tattoo of imagining that guy having a tattoo of like the marks on him, but instead of them just being marks, they're bones.
Hell
like dog
yeah.
bones.
Like dog bone tally marks on him.
Yeah, fucking hardcore. And then they feed the dog milk. And that scares me like a lot. It's
just Spider-Man giving a dog the capital D. That's what this scene is. Like, he's like, oh, I know how to save this dog. And he's like, here, it's milk. Have some. And Nicole's like, you have to clip this. This has to be the clip that you post as a GIF. It's going
so
to be.
Funny. It's so funny because...
Just like the image of a dying dog being fed milk by Spider-Man and a small child.
Well, not even that. It's a dog that's been brainwashed to kill Spider-Man is made good again by just getting milk. And that's like, find a dog fighting ring. Just give all the dogs these milk saucers and they'll be like, oh, wait, I don't want to fight anymore.
Oh my
wow.
God.
The delicious fats in this have really made my brain work.
Henry, do we just need to give you milk and you'll stop being a douche?
He's not a douche. He'll be more of a cumbersome bunch if we give him milk.
Because
all creatures crave mother's
everywhere.
milk.
Oh, we could give him lactate-free milk. That might be okay.
Oh.
I don't feel good giving any kind of animal milk. Like, they're just not any milk of any kind. That's not what they're supposed to have.
What if a mama cat with just fat titties rolls up and is like, you want some of this, Henry? And he says, hell yeah, dude. And that fat-tittied cat is me wearing an udder, pretending to be a cat. And there's cat milk inside the udder.
You've just put nipples on your abs, and it's like, go crazy, dog.
And he goes, nom, nom, nom,
I do love it because it's not like you don't see him go to a store or anything either. It is just he leaves the shack, hard cuts to him coming back with this little bottle of milk. And where did he go? Is there a convenience store right there? And if there was, why did he get milk? Why wouldn't you just get like a hot dog or something? I don't know.
Or dog
Give this
food.
dog some protein. Or dog food. Or cat food. Or any sort of animal substance.
Well, you shouldn't be giving dog food to cats and vice versa.
Well, the government has told me I shouldn't do a lot of things, but look at what I do in defiance.
Because what sucks is dog food is much cheaper than cat food in most cases. So, like, it sucks. It's like the pink tax, but the paw tax, but dogs also have paws.
The Nyan tax.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, because cats need different nutrients.
The puss tax.
But dogs have pussies too.
You know why they're pussy cats.
Not where I'm from.
There's no pussy cats? I'm confused. There's not cats where you're from?
No, that's not what I mean.
I know what you are meaning.
Comedy.
So they're like, hey, the dog's good. Tell us where the Iron Cross Army is. And again, this has to be the same dog from which I thought I saw the clip like, hey, next time on, and I saw this German Shepherd. I was like, oh, I think they're going back to reveal that the German Shepherd from the previous episode where he got yeeted off the dam and fell to his death, but he didn't die. I'm like, oh, maybe this is where they reveal he's an android dog. But no, it's a completely different German Shepherd. But he's walking the same way, and I want to know how they made him walk this way. Walk this way. What's up?
I'm sorry, what?
Go listen to the last episodes. You'll figure it out. Go Danny Tamborelli this. So
Could have go back in time.
it looks like they either spun him around real quick or they like, what's it, a stranger? They like strangered his back paws so they got numb. And then he's just trying to walk around on numb legs.
Yeah, it is like they put socks on him or something for a second, like too long, and then just took them off, and it's like, all right, figure out how to walk again. Because it's not a normal limp, like something is wrong. It is very much a deliberate, like, oh, I've got to be careful where I step, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they told him he told them that there's organisms all around him, and every time you smush down, you kill a bunch of organisms. And he's like, oh,
They gave
no.
the dog an existential crisis.
Yeah. I also, in regards to this, I said a cat would never pussyfoot around like this when there's danger.
Oh, no, the cat is the danger.
Cats aren't dangerous, okay?
Not where I'm from.
No, pussy is dangerous where you're from. We have to be consistent on the terminology.
Well, I mean, that is true. There's a reason why I am, in fact, a homosexual man.
Home of sexual.
Yep, I am the home of all sexuals. Welcome.
I home in on sexuals, baby. Any kind of sexuals.
All right.
Sexuals in movies, sexuals in books, all of it.
Sexual on homes?
Oh, on Robert Downey Jr.?
Sure.
No, as in, like, Holmes as in Sherlock Holmes.
No, I was saying
Benedict
homes
Cumberbatch.
as in like the place that you live.
Okay. You're just like rubbing up against the corner of a house.
Yeah.
You're saying,
Yes.
oh, fuck. I wish I had this
baby's got a spare
3-bedroom.
bedroom. Oh.
Oh, think of the storage space. Oh, fuck. The interest rates are real low right now.
Yeah.
HOA free.
We can put 6 babies in you. Like, because that's coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Recently renovated.
Yeah.
They called that old home AC commercial. Hey, guys, if you watch YouTube and shit, you know what commercial I'm talking about.
Do I?
It's the one where the people are like, you know, my furnace has been making this noise. Gluck, 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 gluck. Nyeh.
I mean, I'd be going gluck gluck every night, but you don't hear me on an ad.
Oh, yeah. But you don't hear me
Gluck
going,
Gluck 3000.
"Nyeh." I'm a earlier model. I'm just a Gluck Gluck 2000. Nicole, what model of Gluck Gluck are you?
Oh, I don't.
So they're following this dog.
You're like,
It's
I'm a
limping along.
discontinued model.
Yeah. Mine got recalled.
That's the word I was trying to, not discontinued.
Recalled for overheating issues.
I was recalled for just like turning on at any moment of the day. So yeah, they follow this dog to a carnival, and Spider-Man's like, I got the detonator because, oh yeah, they were going to blow up a carnival with a bunch of children in it.
Yeah, it's so weird having this juxtaposition of like the B plot being, they literally say that they are terrorists.
Yeah.
And planting bombs at an amusement park while Spider-Man is trying to catch a dog.
Yeah, and nurse it back to health.
It's pretty amazing because I feel like we neglected to mention that earlier when what's his name, Mr. Monster or whatever the hell, is talking to Amazon. He's like, you got to change your strategy up. Nothing's working. And then it just hard cuts to a bunch of buildings exploding in a real act of terrorism. And now it's suddenly she's going off and planting actual bombs in just a public space. It's like, this is just something that could happen. This is actually scary.
Also, if she thinks it's Takuya, why not just plant a bomb in Takuya's house? Many bombs when they're not there. And then, hey, they're all sleeping. We know that. Gadoosh. And then if he doesn't show up, just assume, yeah, I was right. We no longer have this issue.
Well, that would require the villains to be the one thing that they can never be: smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Takuya...
It's just like dogs. I don't want a smart dog. I want a dumb dog. I want a dumb villain.
And I want a dumb girlfriend. Am I right, fellas?
No.
Nicole, it would have been so funny if you said, duh.
No.
Do it, and I'll cut it.
No.
I'll cut it so it sounds perfect.
No.
Dang it. Hey, Nicole, what's a noise like donkeys make?
No.
Dang it. If you were to, like, what's the noise Homer always makes?
No.
Dang it. All right, I'll give up on that. And then we don't get a giant monster fight. It's just Takuya takes them down, the day is saved, and then the dog talks to Takuya a little bit. It's translated, and then the dog leaves. Spider-Man.
See you, Space Cowboy. It is literally just the end of fucking... Oh, God. Of course, you try to remember the anime, and I can't remember, and it's literally the most popular piece of media there ever was.
Cowboy Bebop?
Of course. Of course.
You even said cowboy. I was like, you just need Bebop.
I'm a fake fan, you see. I just reference things I see online.
Same. I'm just constantly referencing pornography.
Oh, well, yeah, there's... Not to go off topic again, but there's a great Twitter that is just like weird porn videos edited down to just the funny stuff. Like, that's where some of the best stuff is. Like, do you know about lemon whores? Are we fans of lemon whores? Oh, it's great. It's a porn parody-ish thing. It's how a real porn starts. It's just two people sitting outside in their yard, and they're just like, man, I really love sitting outside in this right behind our lemon tree. I really hope no lemon whores come to try and steal our lemons from our tree. And then all of a sudden, they just keep talking like that. And like 30 seconds later, this lady in like fishnets and shit just walks out and starts shoving as many lemons as she can into her clothes.
Okay.
It's just like, you lemon whores, get out of here. Like, you can't have our lemons.
We got lemon whores and whore dads. We're whores galore on this episode.
Yeah.
We are whore friendly.
Title of the episode: Whores Galore.
I know.
It's a Whoregasbord. It's like a smorgasbord of whores.
That one we might be able to
smorgasbord.
do. Those the things. What you're saying we could. I don't think we could say whores galore.
What do you mean? More clicks than ever.
Maybe you want to know what I'll try.
So many clicks.
So many clicks and so many clits.
Oh.
Whores
So
galore.
many clicks. Oh, shit.
So, Zinni, does anyone have any further notes?
I mean, that was all my stuff.
No.
All right.
I do, however, feel like I was robbed because there is no monster in this. And the preview episode shows that weird ass, like, catfish whale looking thing. And I'm like, man, this is what I'm missing out on.
But you got a cool dog story.
You got a bear trap for a dog.
I do get to see brutal violence being done unto animals.
Yeah.
What could be better?
And real animals, not like a giant animal that's just a human in a costume.
But where's the fun in just real animals?
It's fun because it's so wild.
It did feel pretty out of pocket for
Yeah.
what it was, for sure.
So we got one last thing for you, Zinny D. Spider-Man traditionally, unlike in this series where just spider blood got implanted in him and now he's a superhero, usually radioactive spider bites Spider-Man. He gets powers of spider. So if you were to be bitten by an animal, which one would you want it to be to get powers of that animal? And how would you use it to take down the Iron Cross army and maybe just an angry dog?
Well, sir, I thought you'd never ask, because I've prepped myself for this. I would turn myself into a pangolin.
Is that just a penguin?
No, a pangolin is a type of anteater that looks like it's from the 13th century.
Okay.
So it looks like it's part dragon. It has these crazy awesome scales all over it.
Whoa.
It really does look like something straight out of the 1300s. You just put some armor on an actual creature. And I would not use any anteater powers to defeat them. I would just run at them really fast and really hard with my head down.
Heck
And
yeah.
that's it.
And now, once you said it looks like it has armor on it, I'm like, oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah, it's crazy, interesting animals. Like, they're so cool looking.
Damn. If there was an ant villain, would you try to eat that ant villain?
I'm not saying my tongue wouldn't make it into certain crevices to perhaps enjoy a light snack of said creature, but I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Just suck out its insides?
Yeah, I mean, anteater tongues are like 4 feet long, so, I could go all over.
Kids should jump rope with anteater tongues.
Oh, yeah, they should just jump rope with anteaters in general.
Yeah.
They're lonely.
Just, jump rope with an anteater. It's their tongue, and they're just wrapped around, like, doing it, saying, yeah.
Okay.
What a beautiful scene. What a beautiful, beautiful image.
For a bunch of beautiful people on this podcast. Zinny D, a.k.a. Tay, a.k.a. Zinny D, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, it's always a beautiful time. I'm slowly making my way through every single channel on this network. My reign of terror will not end.
Yeah, we'll get you on Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. You like wrestling?
It's funny you say that. I didn't until like 2 years ago when my uncle passed away due to colon cancer, rest his soul. He was a big fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Mm-hmm. So I got him an action figure and I was like, you know what? I've never seen wrestling stuff. I should check some stuff out. And I started looking up some stuff and I kind of fell down a bit of a hole.
Hell yeah. Well, we got a great hole for you to get into, and that's Lucha Underground. So we'll get you on that.
What a time to be alive.
Heck yeah.
I will lucha.
But speaking of podcasts, do you have any you'd like to recommend the listeners?
No. That was a lie. So me and my partner do a crazy cool podcast, way past cool, you would even say, called Speed Radio. Me and him are doing a very daunting task of playing through every single Sonic the Hedgehog game that we deem appropriate to talk about at length, from the very start to the very recent, because this project will probably be ongoing for the rest of our lives.
I don't know. You'll get to the end.
We will, and it's going to be so funny because I have a roadmap of the whole thing planned out, and it's at least a 5-year plan as to the way we're doing it right now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what are we going to do in 5 years? Like, we're going to be so embedded in the podcast culture that like just stopping doing it is going to be like, what do we do now? Like, how does life go on?
You go to Mario.
Yeah.
You're so right. A bed and everything. We do bi-weekly episodes, so every other Sunday of every month. We do 2 episodes a month. You can support us through our website, speedradio.fireside.fm, which has links to everything relevant, our personal social medias. You can find it wherever podcasts are found. Please listen to us. We would really like it. And please, leave reviews. We always ask people, write it into us. Send us an email. Write a review. Tell us the goodness. We want to know your favorite Sonic fan fiction at all times at any given day. Please.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Nicole, do you have anything to plug?
Mm-hmm. You can visit darlinghomebody.com where I sell all the cool, fun stuff that I make. And there you can also sign up for my monthly sticker club, the Darling Homebody Society. What is the newest one? I think it's the axolotl donut is the next sticker. It's an axolotl sitting on a donut.
It's so good, guys.
and follow Darling Homebody on social medias.
Heck yeah. Hey guys, head over to mlmpod.com to find out information about all the other free feed podcasts that I do. Like in the Marshland Media podcast feed, we have Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling and Death to Squids. Those ones are great. Just check them out, baby. And head over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. Last Friday, Zinny D was on talking about Powerpuff Girls Z on the Citizens of Townsville Z. And this upcoming week should be Lil Corey and I talking about Ernest Goes to Camp. Boy, oh boy, that is a weird movie. It's cozy, it's good, but not as good as Saves Christmas. Saves Christmas is one of the best Ernest movies, okay, guys? Go check that out. And we're probably going to be doing Ernest Scared Stupid in October as well. Or in October? No, in September. Huh. And you get all that stuff for $5, but $10 a month, you get exclusive bonus monthly content. Wow, it made Nicole laugh, so I can't edit it now. You get monthly bonus content in the form of straight to Patreon. I'm not sure what we're doing this month to close out the summer mockbuster series. Should have done something else. Maybe we'll just switch it up. Get out of here, summer mockbusters. All the Asylum movies besides Sharknado are bad, but the conversations are fun to be had. And those $10 patrons get shoutouts on every single monthly or every single free feed podcast. I'm fudging it up today. So let's begin with those $10 patrons, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, A Sweet Child of Time, which we're doing Time Bandits on that podcast, and we're getting actors from the show on the show. It's been really fun. My mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, That Fed, twitch.tv/Corwinning, it's Corwin. From the ROM Complex as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's twitch.tv/R2Shelby2. And from Speed Radio, a podcast all about Sonic the Hedgehog, it's Zinny D. And I've been James.
I'm Nicole.
I've been Tay.
And we've been Mostly Speaking Spider-Man. Bye-bye. This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit mlmpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today. Recording.
We're fucking
Nice
live, baby. The
ass.
waveforms are there.
All right, I don't even need to say talk real quick because everyone talked. Oh, shoot. Did I forget my notes?
God damn it, James.
Like always, I
You
forgot my
son of a
notes.
bitch.
I'll be right back.
Classic.
Oh, yeah. Today on the dirt bike track, we learned that dog is not man's best friend, but rather most perfect executioner. My name's James.
Wait, it should be woman's executioner.
What?
'Cause it's Amazoness.
No, I'm saying they kill like humankind.
Yeah, and I'm saying Amazoness is making the dog kill people.
Okay, all right.
No, you can. It's fine.
No, I mean, well, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Today on the dirt bike track, we learned that, is mostly speaking Sentai.
Spider-Man.
Oh, shit. We got to redo that.
God damn it.
My name's James.
I'm Nicole.
And this, what's a thing that upset me recently?
I ate a dead bug smoothie.
Oh no, that tickled me, Nicole.
What the hell, man?